Hey guys, how we doing? Jeff here from Films at Home. Got another 4K review to do for you today of a brand new release. Hasn't come out into stores yet as of the time of video creation here, but I was able to get this in early from Paramount, and this is Rocketman, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital copy combo pack. I was really excited to check this one out. I wanted to watch it in theaters. I never got around to seeing it, and so I was super pumped to get the 4K. I ended up watching it yesterday, and now I'm going to give you a little 4K review, talk about the video, audio, a little bit about the movie itself, some of the packaging, and then we'll just give you a recommendation on whether I think it's worth an upgrade from Blu-ray to 4K, which version you should buy, and all that good stuff. So we're going to jump right into that. Before we do, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, try and do that now. Turn notifications, that way you know when new videos go live, and it also helps support me and all my content. So we'll just jump right into Rocketman. So this is an interesting movie. Taron Egerton was awesome as Elton John. I think he's gonna be a huge star. He's like on that Harrison Ford, like Leonardo DiCaprio level, in my opinion. Like he's gonna be massive in the next decade, 20 years. So he did an excellent job as Elton John. Dexter Fletcher was the director. He also directed Taron Egerton in Eddie the Eagle. And interestingly enough, he took over for Bryan Singer in Bohemian Rhapsody. And so he kind of had two musical biopics in the same year. But Rocketman was a little different from Bohemian Rhapsody. So it covers, a lot of the same-ish time period. This is a little bit earlier than Queen, but it's still, a lot of it takes place in the 70s, 60s, 70s, a little bit into the 80s. But it's much more of a musical than Queen was. So Queen focused a lot on the performances, live concert, like reenactments. And Rocketman took Elton John's songs and kind of intertwined them in different moments in his life where they applied. And so there would be musical sequences where there's dancing and stuff sort of, breaks down out of reality. And then you go back to watching a very realistic biopic. So it's kind of interesting. The whole thing centers around Elton John's quest to become sober, his sobriety, his check into rehab. And basically the movie starts with him checking into rehab, and then it goes through all the different events that led him there, which kind of explains his backstory in his life. So I thought it was really, really good. I really liked it. It's a lot of fun. The music was excellent. And I had a really good time with it. So in terms of just the movie itself, if you haven't seen it, I think it's really enjoyable. Again, Taron Egerton is awesome. It has a great supporting cast. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones, Bryce Dallas Howard, all kinds of people in this. So it was really well done all across the board, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's hard to compare it to Bohemian Rhapsody. It's probably what most people would want to do, but it's up there. I mean, they're different, but I'm trying to think. Bohemian Rhapsody is probably a little bit better, but this is more fun than Bohemian Rhapsody was. The musical sequences are a lot more fun, whereas Bohemian Rhapsody was almost like watching a Queen concert, which is cool, but it wasn't super original. Rocketman was very original, almost felt like it could have been a Broadway play. So it was really, really cool, and I highly recommend the movie itself. So the movie was great, but now let's talk about the visuals. I was reading on IMDb, this was shot a few different ways. So it was shot at 3.4K, and then it was downscaled to a 2K digital intermediate. And so for those of you who are worried about real 4K versus fake 4K, this is a fake 4K, although I don't like that term. I'm going to make a video about that very soon in the future. But this is a 2K digital intermediate upscale, and you can definitely tell there are actually some moments in here where the image almost got blurry. It was very soft. I was actually surprised the resolution didn't seem like it was that big of an upgrade, but the HDR was a noticeable uptick, although I gotta say it wasn't huge here. The visuals on this are definitely not the reason to upgrade. The difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K, in my opinion, was negligible. HDR is always going to help with colors if you have a good display, but the resolution difference is just really not going to be there. And so honestly, you're going to be fine with the Blu-ray on Rocketman. I'm not sure if this warrants a full 4K. There isn't a ton of color. Obviously, there are some costumes and outfits that Elton John and Taron Egerton playing him wears, but The rest of it, there's some decent color, but there isn't a huge difference between Blu-ray and 4K in terms of just color. And so you're dealing with just resolution, and that, wasn't a huge upgrade in my opinion. So I think you're fine with the Blu-ray release on this one. So now if we want to talk about the audio a little bit, the audio is incredible on this. So if the picture's like, say, a 3.5, I just wasn't super pleased with it. The audio is a straight 5. The music is excellent. Overpowering at points. I actually had to turn my system down a little bit. Subwoofer action was incredible, and it is a Dolby Atmos track, so you're getting the full effect. It feels like you're in a concert at times. The music is amazing. It feels like a live concert, Blu-ray. But another thing here with the upgrade, you're getting a Dolby Atmos track on the Blu-ray as well. And so again, if the picture quality isn't a massive upgrade and the Blu-ray is carrying the same audio track, I do have a bit of a hard time recommending spending the extra money on 4K. Now, if money's no issue, I'd always go with the 4K, right? But you may be able to find the Blu-ray for $10, $15 in a couple of weeks, and the 4K will still be hovering around $20, $25. So at that point, if you're just looking to see this movie, I think you're okay with the Blu-ray. I really don't know that the 4K is really a huge upgrade. It's nice. If you're a 4K enthusiast, you'll like it. You'll see the very slight differences. You'll notice the HDR. But 98% of people out there are not going to notice that. And even myself, I didn't feel like it was a huge difference. And so overall, for this release in terms of visuals and audio, I think I'd have to say you're safe with the Blu-ray. If you want the premium experience, you can pay for the 4K. But I really don't know what you're getting here because the audio is the same, the visuals aren't a huge difference, and special features and everything are on the Blu-ray disc, and so there isn't a massive difference here at all. I don't know if I could recommend an upgrade. So now for the packaging, I've got the standard 4K release here, and it just has a slip cover, and on the inside, this is actually pretty cool. So front artwork same, back artwork same as the slip cover. Nothing really crazy here, but it's a little bit of a bigger slip because it includes this little booklet from Elton John basically, and it's I don't know if it's an excerpt from his new autobiography, which is called Me. It's coming out, it says October 15th 2019. You can pre-order it, but I think it says this is just a special message for fans of Rocketman, anybody who buys the movie. It's about, it's 12 pages long. It's like a little mini essay about the movie and about his life and kind of why he's writing an autobiography. So that's kind of cool. The only annoying thing is the slipcover is very thick to hold that, and so you'll see that the movie does not stay in it without the booklet. So that's, whatever, it's minor. When you put the booklet in it, everything stays. And then on disc 2, on the Blu-ray disc, here's where you get your special features. So there are extended musical sequences. So there are some great musical sequences in this with dancing and singing and like truly like a musical. You can get extended version of those. There's also 10 deleted scenes, and there are also sing-along versions for a few of the different songs that are in the movie. And there's also, it says up to 75 minutes of other bonus content, but those are small featurettes and stuff. Your real bonus here is the sing-along stuff, the extended musical sequences, which are great, and those deleted and extended scenes. So overall, not a bad little package. Nothing too crazy. The artwork is pretty basic. It does have this, the thing from Elton John here. This is a sticker. The HDR is not a sticker. That is on the cover. And then, certified fresh on the back. Typical type stuff. Opening up the case now. Again, pretty boring considering how flamboyant Elton John was, but standard stuff, no disc art. There is a digital copy, which I've already removed, of course, because I don't want people stealing the digital copy code in my videos, but it does come with the digital copy, and so that's sort of the package. That's what you're getting with the 4K. The Blu-ray is very similar, just minus the 4K disc, of course. So nothing too crazy there, and really overall, this is, I always say, if you have the money, if money's no issue and you've invested in 4K, then you should go for the 4K version of these movies. That's what you've invested in. You're going to get the best experience almost 99.9% of the time with the 4K disc. And by no means am I saying the 4K of Rocketman isn't better than the Blu-ray. It is better than the Blu-ray, but what I'm saying is there's a cost difference there. Even if it's $5 at launch date, and maybe you can get this on Black Friday for $10 on Blu-ray, but it's $20 on 4K. If you're just trying to collect movies on a budget, you just want to see the movie at home, the Blu-ray is going to more than do it for you because it has the Atmos track. It is a 2K digital intermediate, and it is digitally shot, so you're not getting a whole extra bunch of information with the 4K version of the movie, except for the HDR. But again, in my opinion, you had to have a very good display to tell the difference between the HDR and the standard Blu-ray SDR on this release. Some releases are more apparent. For this one, I checked it out on the projector, checked it out on the 4K TV. Obviously, again, more noticeable on the 4K TV. It has a little bit of a better color scheme. It's QLED. Projector also has a very good color scheme, but it's less noticeable for whatever reason. So, like I said, Blu-ray would be fine. 4K would be top of the line, but it's a great movie. I highly recommend you picking it up. I think it's well worth a watch. It's a quick 2 hours. It kind of, it didn't drag at all. It blows right through it. There's always something going on. There's always action. There's ups and downs, but it's always loud, and it's just, it is Elton John. Like, this is what Elton John was all about. Loud, fast-paced, crazy stuff happening. You know, the outfits in the movie are hilarious and great. Taron Egerton's great. The supporting cast is great. So overall, well worth a pickup. Nice little release here from Paramount, but it's just the way the movie was shot and the way the movie feels. It doesn't feel like it needed a 4K. So if you want the 4K, go for it, but you're fine with the Blu-ray. So thanks for watching that one, guys. That's about it for Rocketman. Hopefully you go pick that up when it releases next Tuesday, August 20th. Again, well worth a pickup on either Blu-ray or 4K format. But if you do want to save a few bucks, go with that Blu-ray. And then a couple of things here really quickly at the end. Follow me on Instagram. Links down in the description. You can help support my channel by buying some merchandise off the Teespring store. And if you do buy a t-shirt, make sure you tag me in a picture on Instagram or let me know in the comments, because I think that's just super cool to see people wearing my stuff out there, supporting the channel. So definitely let me know if you do make a purchase. And you can also buy things like my shelving, my projector that I talked about, my Atmos speakers, subwoofer, my TV, my 4K TV, projector screen, home theater seats, all that good stuff. If you want to buy the things that you see in my videos, there are Amazon links in the description. You can click on those and give me a little support through those links, as well as a 4K and Blu-ray movie storefront through Amazon, which I've created, has some of my favorites. And if you buy a movie through there, it helps support the channel. So I appreciate everything. Remember to subscribe. Remember to turn your notifications. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of Rocketman. And when you get the 4K, I'll be interested to hear what people think of 4K versus Blu-ray. For me personally, just wasn't a huge difference. It's an awesome looking movie, don't get me wrong. It's just Blu-ray sometimes looks awesome and 4K looks awesome, and so there isn't a huge difference. That happens sometimes. But overall, very good movie. I highly recommend it. And again, thank you to Paramount for sending me out an early review copy. That always helps me get more views, helps you guys get informed about your purchase before you have to go to the store and make a decision. And so hopefully that is useful for you all. But yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon, and we have some cool videos coming, so stay tuned.